Today we're going to talk about period 1, 1491 to 1607. And we're going to answer some key questions, predominantly what was so important about this time period. First of all, 1491 denotes the time period before Columbus arrived here. You see, before the Europeans actually arrived in the Americas, Native American tribes were scattered across North and South America. They had complex societies with unique religious, political, and cultural beliefs. Now, 3 of these highly organized societies included the Mayans, who were located in the Yucatan Peninsula, the Incas, who were in South America, modern-day Peru, and of course the Aztec Empire, which dominated Mexico and Central America. A very powerful empire. In their capital of Tenochtitlan, they had nearly 200,000 people living there. Now, in what we consider modern-day America, different regions denoted different types of tribes. In the Southwest, you had the Anasazi and the Pueblo, who primarily lived in cliff dwellings like caves. In the Northwest, which stretched from Northern California to Alaska, most Native Americans lived in longhouses and depended on hunting and fishing. Now, when you look at the Plains Indians, a lot of these Native Americans were nomadic hunters, but you also had sedentary farmers. They lived in teepees and were highly affected by the introduction of the horse. These included tribes such as the Lakota Sioux and the Apache. In the Midwest, you had permanent settlements of hunters and fishers and also depended on agriculture. They lived in permanent structures. In fact, a lot of them were called the mound builders, like the Adena Hopewell. And finally, in the Northeast, that's where the Iroquois Confederacy was, which we'll talk a lot about. Believe it or not, there were 20 different language families, including 400 dialects amongst the Native American tribes, and just as many cultural differences. While they shared similarities, not one tribe was exactly like the other. The Europeans weren't very concerned about that, as when they looked towards the Americas, all they focused on was the chance for wealth, power, and the opportunity to spread their beliefs. We refer to that as the 3 Gs: God, glory, and gold. But that had a major impact on the Native American tribes. It's going to result in large-scale epidemics, as well as forced labor systems like the Spanish encomienda system, where Spanish conquistadors enslaved Native Americans. Probably the largest effect of European exploration is going to be the Columbian Exchange, an exchange of plants, animals, and germs between the 2 sides of the world. The impact of this is going to be huge for both sides, with the exchange of different foods, animals, and of course those germs. And that's going to have more of an effect on Native Americans than Europeans. Big takeaways. First of all, there were pre-existing complex societies in the Americas. And when the Europeans came in their search for wealth and military status, they're going to run into a lot of conflict with the Native Americans over land, their resources, and their cultures. The Columbian Exchange is going to have a huge impact on both societies, and we're going to see the beginning of forced labor systems in the Americas. It'll start with the natives, but then we'll move on to Africans. So that's it. Period 1, 1491 to 1607. Quick overview. Hope I piqued your interest.